Okay, so let's get to this pelvis. I'm going to start by bending her to a more crouched position and deal with this transition from the pelvis to the thighs, and then we'll move to the under part of the leg to try to get that. The primary issue that is going to occur is that mirroring will produce some repeated errors depending on how good of a job I do cleaning this central region up and how much of it bleeds over. But alright, let's just get started. I'm going to actually first, since I'm on this new machine, I may have to increase my joint size. Okay, and then I'm going to isolate the central region. I might end up doing some of the spine joints because I did end up doing some of the root whilst I was cleaning up the spine. So I'm going to isolate these faces. I'm going to be careful about where I stop giving this hip access to this pelvis, but it's going to be somewhere over here. I'm going to make sure I look from the top so I don't overextend. Let me start with getting that hip. Okay, so this hip here, this root has most of it, and I want to give more of it to the hip. I think I am going to try this time around releasing from the root. So I'm going to make sure I set this to -0.1. Come here in the negative and start releasing. Let me see who we gave it to. Okay, distributed between the two. Yeah, I think that might be a little too much. So I'm going to go a lot more lightly. I'm going to make sure I don't have a pure value of 0.1. I'll go maybe 0.03. Start releasing very gently. Okay, that's enough to start off. For now, let me hide most of this knee and expose some of these spine joints because some of them do come down here, not that far. Get some smoothing in. Do some more additive work now. So I'm giving to the thigh all through here. Now what you're going to see happen is this really big bulge in the quadriceps, and under no circumstances should you really be trying to resolve it with weight painting. You'll never get rid of that bulge. And when I extend her further down, like if I do a full crouch, you'll see it even more. That is 100% going to be the responsibility of the corrective deformation. Let's wait till we get there and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You could attempt to use some tricks to fix it by assigning it, when you see that bulge, you can assign it to joints that are farther away, closer to the knee, to make it sort of lose that lump, sort of like I did with underneath the neck. But that's a skinning trick and it's not the best solution. You do want to aim for some corrective deformation in this area. So I'm going to continue this smoothing. And with this, just like with digital sculpting, you want to try to look from every conceivable angle, because sometimes you'll just fix a whole bunch of stuff and then it's completely messed up one angle, and you were not paying attention to that angle. Alright, so now I'm starting to see a more attractive silhouette as I tumble around from this view. And this is kind of the transitioning that I do want to see compared to the other side. This little caved in part is not it. And it's very important to kind of know where to stop here. You could keep going. You could keep over here and adding just a little bit more influence. Let me see. It's not really going to hurt too much. I'm going to refrain from doing it. I don't think it's necessary. Unless I see a particular angle or a different pose and it's looking wrong, then I'll fix it. But I think at around this point is a good place. What I think I might do is I might just add just a little just a little bit of this region, just to plump it up a little bit so I get a nice transition. Because when I look from here, it'd be nice if I got a nice round shape here. So I'll give to the hip more, just a small amount, this 0.04, and then smooth. You end up with that little dip at the greater trochanter area. Turn off selection highlighting so I can see this shape better. Go all the way around and look to make sure I have a nice silhouette. Like here I see a little bit of just a minor kink, but this is I think this is good. I think I should push down further and see what it looks like. Push down further. So the thigh looks pretty good. It's looking really nice, but now it's time to get the that looks good. It's time to get now the stomach area. Give a little bit of it to the actual pelvis, because over here it does feel a little caved in. We start with smoothing first. For this, I'm definitely going to get some penetration after weight painting. I'm going to rely on the corrective morph to ensure that there's no penetration here, because this is probably one of the most important places. If we had a pair of pants, nCloth pants, and she crouched like this, they would 100% get stuck in there when she goes all the way down. So that's one of the things I'm going to fix with corrective morphs. I think I've said that a few times. It's very important that I plan for that. And worst case scenario, if I'm getting a lot of bad penetration over there, I'll create a manual control that eases the penetration, so I can modulate it manually during animation or during cloth simulation time. But I'll do my best to make sure by the end the rig has minimal penetration there. I'm going to continue to do more assignment to the root here, at the top here especially, because it looks like it's melting in. I don't want to go too far down. On the old rig, I tried using a scalp deformer to hold the volume in the hips when she crouched. I didn't like the results, so I ended up deleting it. I might take another shot of something like that with this rig, because it'd be nice if there was something that held the volume when she crouches in the hips specifically. I think I might be able to knock it out with just one scalp deformer for both the glutes and the hips. If I increase the maximum displacement value of the scalp deformer, I think it can extend and plump up a majority of what's in this region. But it's something I was testing out. I'll see how it works and whether or not I can use this one scalp deformer to resolve the plumping of the entire pelvic region.